Hello everyone, it's me, Lola Javon, back for another weekly vlog, which is the audio and video version of my written blog that you can find over at www.lolajavon.com. Today we're going to talk about this painting. It's called Made for Gentler Things. It's oil on cradled wood panel. It's a 12 by 12 by about 3/4 of an inch, and you can hang it just as it is. It will have hanging wire on it, or you could frame it. So let's talk about this one. Here are the words that I chose to go with this particular painting. I had become so accustomed to carrying the sword that I forgot my hands were made for gentler things, for wildflowers, for poetry, for reaching instead of defending. And maybe that's what safety is, remembering who you were before the battle. And that poem is by Sophia Bray. Do any of you feel like you've been carrying the sword? Whether we're fighting monsters on the outside in the world or tackling those that we carry within, it can become such a habit to be hypervigilant that we forget how to put the damn sword down, right? Our hands form into permanent grips. They have to be coaxed into relaxing so we can trail them through the water, hold them out the car window, and surf the wind. Who were we before the battle? Light of heart, curiosity-filled, poetic, and reaching. Perhaps singing in the shower, dancing in the moonlight, scribbling silliness and thoughts in our notebooks. Our hands were made for gentler things. About the art. I've begun experimenting with a new gesso, and it's a Michael Harding non-absorbent acrylic primer. In this case, it's Sienna Dark, so the whole underpainting is in this color. I'm going to hold this up while we're talking about the art. I had read about this particular primer that it increases the depth of color in the paint instead of soaking up all the color like so many primers do. So I had to see if it was true, and it is. Check out the background on this one, the deep darks that I was able to get with just a couple of coats, which normally it would take 80 million layers to get something that dark. And the same with the vibrancy of the pastels and the whiteness of the whites. So I would usually use many layers of oil paint to get this effect. So this new primer makes the very first coat really sing. As per my usual method of creating a painting, I roughed in the sketch and then came in with a background layer to further refine the sketch, and then let it dry for a good long time. I put layers on the face and the neck, and then more drying time, detail brush for all the features, and then while that was drying, layers on the wings and the clothing, and another small wash over the background, and then finally a thick impasto layer for the hair. I don't know if the camera can capture it, but this is a very thick and highly textured paint for this angel's hair. A couple of weeks to let it dry, and then a coat of varnish. So this one's ready to hang just as it is, safe from dust and fading. Voila! So, let me set that one down. When it's too small to hang, you gotta hang on to it, right? So I really appreciate you listening this week. If you stay tuned to the end, I'll show you the painting framed in situ, and give you some links to grab the painting if you want to buy it, and also some links to the new book Monstrous, which is now shipping. The early reader reviews have been just outrageously positive, and I'm so very excited about it. You can order the book just as it is, or you can order it with a fairy tale survival kit, which you just might need to survive this one. Thanks again for listening. Remember, go over to my website, www.lolajavon.com. Subscribe. You'll get a weekly newsletter with the first look at whatever painting is going to be coming up on the vlog and in the blog. Sometimes you'll get some discounts toward buying your art. And there's always lots of malarkey and monsters. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Take this pink ribbon off my